Hi everybody, my name is Emily. I am a wife to a traveling husband. I am a mom to a 3 and a 2-year-old, and I am a full-time pharmacist. And I just want to share my experience with Shakeology, kind of start where my journey started, how Shakeology has helped me, but really just give you the background on Shakeology and the literature, the study that supports Shakeology, because for me, especially being a pharmacist, I don't feel comfortable to recommend anything to anyone else or, use myself if it's not backed up by science, because that's my license. If I, tell someone that you should do this, it needs to be studied and really, as a pharmacist, FDA approved. And so I really was a skeptic for the longest time of all these people saying, oh, the shake helps me with my stress and helps my, skin clear up, helps my energy. I was like, these people have drank the Kool-Aid. And so I will tell you, I have completely changed from a skeptic to an addict, like a believer. Every person in my family, I recommend this to. When my kids are sick, I give them 2 doses of Shakeology that day. So I really just want to open it up here and just really share my experience. So I will say I have been using Beachbody products since probably college, since they first came out. I love the workouts. I really love the workouts, but I was never consistent with it. And then as far as Shakeology, I would, drink it every once in a while, every 3 or 4 months, maybe get one. I thought it was too expensive. In college, I just didn't see the importance of it. Looking back, I would have changed it. But it was too expensive for me. It wasn't until after my first child that I was trying to get back into shape. And it was hard. Postpartum is so difficult, and just trying to take care of yourself, keeping your immunity up, making sure you're eating correctly or just eating at all. It was just really, really hard. And so I was like, I've got to find something that's convenient, that will fill me up, that will help me stabilize my mood, my energy, but also, make sure I'm getting the nutrients that I need so that I could feed my child. And so Shakeology really, was in the back of my mind. And so I really dove in and I was like, I'm going to look at this, because if it really is all that it's cracked up to be, there should be research to back it up. So I went on a mission. I'm going to share just in general the big things that I learned about Shakeology in this video. If you have any specific questions about an ingredient, about a study, about anything, let me know. Because basically what I did, we have a database for pharmacists that you can go to. It's natural medicines. And you can go in there, you can type any natural medicine in there, any herb, anything, and it tells you the study that backs it up, or if there is or if there's not, what it's used for, all of those things. And so I went through all the ingredients and looked at them, looked how much was in Shakeology, how much was used in the studies. And so I really was interested to really know what I was putting into my body and make sure that as a pharmacist, as a chemist, I'm a chemist, I have a chemistry degree, I want to make sure whatever I was sharing and actually taking myself was backed up, and I was knowledgeable about it. And so I encourage everyone to do that for yourself, but I'll give what I learned basically, and the big things that I took away. So as you know, Shakeology is a protein shake. It has protein in it. That is first ingredient that's listed in there, which always means whatever first ingredient is, that's what is the majority of the product. Protein, the whey protein from Shakeology is actually, whey in general is the most studied nutrient available. There are so many studies that have looked at whey protein to see the benefits of it. And so just know, I'm not really going to touch a lot about it. There's, whey protein is from milk, so it does come from animals, whereas pea protein is from plants. So those are the two, the regular and then the vegan Shakeology. Basically, the protein helps with, it has amino acids in it. I could go on and on. The protein basically has a specific amino acid, the whey protein, that actually can lower blood pressure, blood sugar, decrease stress, and depression symptoms. Protein in general is the building blocks for all of our cells. So it's very, very important that you're getting enough protein in your diet. Really, with Shakeology, if you're eating a healthy variety of chicken, fish, eggs, all of those things, you're getting your protein in your diet. Shakeology really doesn't need to be added for you for that protein, because you're getting it from your diet. So there's all the herbal mixtures that we'll talk about that are more important for Shakeology. But just know, it is a protein shake. Protein keeps you satisfied. It helps reduce those cravings. It actually helps you lose weight. There was a study for weight loss that showed people who had consumed whey protein via protein shake, there's tons out there, they actually increased their energy expenditure, so they had more energy for about 80 to 100 calories per day. It actually showed that if 25% of your daily calories came from whey protein, I have notes, sorry, it decreased the cravings that you had by 60%, and it actually cut in half the late night cravings that you had. And that was really, really interesting to me. It also gave about an average over a 12 weeks time period, an average of an 8-pound weight loss while maintaining lean muscle. So you never want to just have weight loss, especially postpartum, or any time that you're trying to lose weight. You never want to just lose weight and not maintain muscle, because lean muscle is what you want to keep. It helps keep your bones strong and all those things. So again, I'm not really going to go into detail about whey protein, but that's just some literature. It's very important. But again, Shakeology, the thing that makes it different is the herbal mixtures that are included in Shakeology. And so I'll read this off because I don't want to mess it up. The herbal medicines, these are proprietary herbal blends that are in Shakeology. They are complex mixtures of different chemical compounds that often act synergistically to exert the full benefits. So these herbal mixtures are from plants, from roots, from all kinds of things, and they actually have all of these very intricate ingredients that work synergistically or together to provide medical health benefits. And that is what sets Shakeology apart from all of the other shakes that are out there. And it's why I 100% and wholeheartedly believe in it. And also I would say it probably is why Shakeology is more expensive. But another thing that I've researched was how they harvested all of the ingredients, and that Shakeology does not lower its standards for harvesting, for how it blends the shake for cost. So it's not going to reduce its standards just to reduce costs. They have high standards, so their cost is a little bit more. But we could get into cost for another, but that's not for this video. It's not that expensive. It's definitely not more expensive than the Diet Coke and Cheetos that I had every day studying in college, if only I'd known. But, so, I'm actually going to go into detail on 4 different categories. And on the back of Shakeology, it actually starts off and it'll say proprietary, like the first one's proprietary fruit and antioxidant blend. And it'll list a bunch of ingredients. And so I'll talk in general about those sections and just pick 1 or 2 of the ingredients that really I think that you should know about. And then if you have any questions, of course, let me know about all the different ingredients. So the first one that I'll talk about is the proprietary. Whenever it says that, it just means Beachbody are the only people that can have certain blend this way, so nobody else can do it. But it's the fruit and antioxidant blend. So I'm sure you've heard about antioxidants in general. What antioxidants do is all of our body, if we're all healthy and doing exactly what we should want, our body has chemical reactions that occur all the time. How we digest our food, how our neurons fire, all of those things are chemical reactions. And that undergoes oxidation and oxidation reduction, the way that the chemicals are broken down. I'm trying to not make this too nerdy, but the way that they're broken down, and what that does is it causes production of free radicals. And so free radicals is basically just a compound that has an extra electron that can actually cause damage. You can think electron actually can I don't know, something and cause damage to your cells, and you don't want that. Now when it's all in healthy balance, this is a good thing, because you have your oxidation and reduction, it produces a free radical which goes into another chemical reaction, and it's a good thing. However, with our diet, with our stress, just nowadays we have more free radicals that are in our bodies that cause damage. A lot of things have been caused, cancer, stress, immunity, just all of those things is basically from free radicals. So antioxidants come in, they bind that free radical, and then make it to where it can't hurt. I keep wanting to go, it can't anything. And so in general, antioxidants are, have been studied for a variety of reasons. One of the main ones that I picked out from Shakeology is green tea, because green tea is is one of the, besides whey, it's one of the more studied ingredients out there, especially in antioxidants. And so green tea has been studied to help cancer, heart disease, liver disease, obesity, which is really important, type 2 diabetes, and it's really, really good for anti-inflammatory effects and also antiviral. So you can see this is actually, I'm not going to go into studies because there's a ton, but what was really important to me is that this was studied in vitro and in vivo. In vitro means in the test tube. In vivo means in live people, in animals and in humans. So this has been studied. There's tons of studies out there that show that green tea is actually really, really beneficial antioxidant and for all of these things. And the things that picked out for me was obesity and type 2 diabetes, but also its anti-inflammatory effects. That's really important to me. And I don't want to say anything else. I have notes, so I want to make sure I don't say anything incorrect. Yeah, I think that's all. If you have any questions about green tea, let me know. Tons of literature out there. But the next groups are the ones that I really want to dive into because I think that we talk a lot about them, but we don't know a lot about them. And so it's really important, again, that you know what you're putting in your body. So the next thing is the phytonutrient blend. And phytonutrients are very specific to plants. They only occur in plants, and they actually, when eaten by an animal or by a human, it actually has very, huge beneficial effects because it helps the plant survive and actually, do its daily activities. But when it's eaten by a human, it's actually even more beneficial. And so one of the ones, the phytonutrients that I think that we've heard a lot of hype about is moringa. If you have heard of this, it's actually a plant in an Indian subcontinent. It's used there for food and medicine. And the main reasons that it's used in this area is for controlling diabetes, preventing and controlling diabetes, hypertension or high blood pressure, and then also it's really beneficial for malnutrition. So they use these in people who have HIV or AIDS because of their malnourishment that they have. It's very, very interesting that the research on this is very, very sparse despite all of the hype. So there's not a lot of research to back up moringa. However, when we look at this Indian subcontinent that uses it, they've been using this for many, many years. And the really cool thing is that the leaves of moringa are very rich in potassium, calcium, phosphorus, iron, vitamins A and D, essential amino acids, which means the building blocks of our cells that we can't get from anywhere but our diet alone, and then antioxidants like beta carotene, vitamins E, and flavonoids. So just the leaves have all of those properties in them, which means just knowing what we know about those ingredients that are contained in the leaves or the chemicals, it's going to help basically with the things that this Indian subcontinent has used: preventing diabetes, preventing high blood pressure, and treating high blood pressure. And then malnourishment. So for me, being a postpartum mom, I was malnourished because I wasn't feeding myself exactly what it needed. And so these phytonutrients, especially moringa, definitely helped me. And that's where I see that, Shakeology, when I say this can help you get the nutrients that you need that you aren't getting from your diet. That is one of the things that I've hint to is moringa. There has been a review of the literature that does show potential support for inhibiting or reducing diabetes and cardiovascular disease. So a lot of times when people say they're struggling with their blood sugars, with their blood pressure, I say try Shakeology because the research has shown that it does have potential support for that as far as moringa goes. So those are the phytonutrients. There's a lot of other ones in there. Let me know if you have any questions. The second to last thing that we'll talk about is the adaptogens. Adaptogens, I think if you ask anybody that uses Shakeology, are what people just go berserk about because adaptogens are really unique to Shakeology and really, I feel, show the biggest benefit, and I'll tell you why. The adaptogens are herbs that help combat stress, enhance physical and mental functioning, and just as they say, they help your body adapt to things that, adapt to a cold or adapt to stress, adapt to if you're going through depression. You know, these adaptogens are actually what your body needs to get back to a maintenance level, back to its normal functioning level, and combat all of these things that we deal with on our day-to-day. The interesting thing with adaptogens, though, and I kind of had a hard time with this, is that it has only been done in animal studies. And so it's never been studied in humans, but it has been studied in animal studies. And so, well, I take that back, actually. Maca has, and never mind, it's been studied in humans. I got that from everything. It's been studied in humans, but just not very well. We'll put it that way. It's been studied very well in animals, as far as what you would want to see in like a randomized double-blind controlled trial for a long period of time, but it hasn't been done as well and as broad in humans. So we'll say that. So the first one I want to talk about is maca. If you've heard of maca, it's got a lot of hype, kind of like moringa. It's a cruciferous vegetable in the mustard family, and it's actually related to turnips and radishes. It has been used as food and medicine in the Andes Mountains of Peru for many, many years. They have actually used it for low libido, menopause, stress, and to increase strength and endurance. I really thought that the interesting one was low libido. It's only in men that it's actually been studied for that, but I feel like low libido can kind of be for for a woman, like to increase your mood. To me, that's kind of where I see maca coming in to me. But I will tell you that they did do a double-blind study, which means that the people who were taking the medicine and the people that were analyzing all of it didn't know who was getting what. And what they did was they took placebo, 1,500 milligrams and 3,000 milligrams per day of maca for 8 weeks. It was in young and middle-aged men, and actually increased their libido, and that was independent of their mood. They did mood questionnaires, but also their testosterone levels. So it did show increase in libido. So if you're wanting to get it on, get you some maca in our Shakeology. But in general, it also helps with your strength and your endurance as well when we're dealing with stress. The next ingredient that I want to talk about is ashwagandha. It is ashwagandha. I just say ashwagandha. This is something that has been talked about and recently added to Shakeology, probably within the last 6 months to 8 months. And it's actually very, very useful. I really like ashwagandha because it's useful for stress and anxiety. It also has been used and very, very supported for osteoarthritis. It's also for immune function. It's been used in Indian medicine, traditional Indian medicine, very, very extensively. And it's used there for fevers and inflammatory diseases or conditions and tumors, which is very interesting to me because when we're talking about immunity, that's one thing for my kids I really, really focus on. And with ashwagandha, it definitely has been proven to help. Another thing is actually for my dad and my parents. They're runners, and we do have a little bit of osteoarthritis in our family. And so I recommend them to use it because it's so much better than NSAIDs or like ibuprofen for gut health and just for safety as well. So specifically with osteoarthritis, there was a trial that they did, and it had a blend of ashwagandha and also zinc and turmeric, and it actually was proven to statistically decrease pain and stiffness without the stomach effects of NSAIDs, the irritation. So to me, that was very interesting about the osteoarthritis aspect. And then one really cool thing about ashwagandha is that there was a prospective, which means forward, double-blind, randomized, placebo-controlled trial. Now, to any nerds out there, as a pharmacist, this to me, I'm like, yes, this is what I want to see. It was prospective, double-blinded, randomized. There was a placebo, meaning there's nothing that was there, in the control arm. This is what I wanted to see. And so it was in 64 patients. What happened was 64 patients got randomized. They either got placebo or they got 300 milligrams of high concentration ashwagandha twice a day for 60 days. And what they did is they actually did a questionnaire with these patients, and they asked them to rate their stress and their mood at day 0, 15, 30, 45 and 60 days, and I actually got a phone call. And so I thought that was really interesting. And so what happened was they saw that statistically significant, which is important. You want to see statistical significance decrease in the people's stress that they reported that actually got the ashwagandha. And so it was statistically significant that their stress was lower and their mood was better versus the placebo. They actually also looked at the cortisol levels, which cortisol is a hormone that is produced with stress. If you're stressed, your cortisol levels are higher. They actually showed that the cortisol levels were lower in the people that got ashwagandha versus people that got placebo. Now, this was not statistically significant, but it was pretty close. But it did show that it was a decrease. And there were no adverse effects that were more common in the ashwagandha group versus the placebo-controlled group. So if you're looking for something to help your stress, to help you fight your mood, just get in a better mood, Shakeology, try it. It's safer than any drug out there. It's going to be better, and it actually has so many other ingredients. Why not? Why not? So for me, as you know, I just go back to being a postpartum mom. I needed help with stress. I needed help with my mood because I wanted it to be stabilized. I didn't need to be stressed out in a crazy stressful environment. I needed something to help me. So that was when I read that to me, I was like, money down, show me. I will drink this thing until my stress gets under control. So just know that this is what I did. I looked into the literature. I looked how it would help me. And I did it, and I'll tell you kind of in the end how it all has helped me. The last thing I want to talk about is the pre and probiotics. This, and there's also enzymes as well, but this is really, really important. Prebiotics and probiotics. As you know, our stomach and our intestines, all of our colon are made up of bacteria, healthy bacteria that help us break down our food. It helps keep us gut healthy. The flora, the microbiome, if you've ever heard. And this is really, really important for our gut health and just for our health overall. We actually have more bacteria in us than human cells, which is interesting. So prebiotics and probiotics help the gut and the microflora bacteria, and it's basically just essential for gut and healthy functions. Enzymes that are also included in this group. Enzymes are little, you can think of them as little, busy bees that go around and they make reactions occur in our bodies. So an enzyme, like if you have something, it'll like clip the thing and make it a reaction occur, a reaction that we want to occur. So we want to make sure all of our enzymes are healthy. So the one pre and probiotic that I wanted to key in on, because there's a lots of, you can get probiotics and prebiotics from yogurt and all these things, or from lactobacillus. You actually can take a pill for pre and probiotics. But when you use herbs, I think that it's more beneficial. So yuccan root is the one that I wanted to focus in on. It's a fruit-based root in South America, and it has prebiotic, antimicrobial, and antioxidant effects. It has these fructooligosaccharides plus inulin. The fructooligosaccharides are actually hard to digest by humans, but that's what is actually used synthetically to do the lactobacillus, to do prebiotics and probiotics that you take for a pill. And so what they did, the one study I want to focus in on, is that they looked at yuccan root versus the synthetic fructooligosaccharides. And they looked at it in rats for over a 28-day period. And what they did was they had, half of the rats have just the synthetic, I'm just going to say FOS, and then the other half had yuccan root. And they saw that the yuccan root group, their intestinal microflora changed in the first week. And it actually had like this abundant fermentation that happened that created this selective environment that caused the growth of beneficial bacteria. And one of those beneficial bacteria that I'm sure that you're aware of is lactobacillus. And so it caused this environment to be just keen for that flora to grow the healthy bacteria that we want, that keeps our digestive system going. And then also with yuccan root, they found in the rat group that the triglyceride levels were lower than the group that got the synthetic FOS. So I thought that was very interesting. It was only in rats, but it was definitely interesting to show the benefits of the yuccan root in the gut flora. You need your gut flora for weight maintenance, for cholesterol, imbalancing. And then you also, need it for your health. When you take antibiotics, that gut flora just goes. And so it's really important to make sure that you're getting pre and probiotics and just keeping that gut flora healthy. So that's all I'm going to talk about. I'm just going to kind of wrap this up with just sharing my experience with Shakeology. Shakeology to me has definitely caused me to lose weight after pregnancy, maintain weight. I'm at a healthier weight than I ever have been without any sacrifice. I didn't do a crazy diet. I didn't do, anything that wasn't beneficial to me, and I'm happy. My mood and my stress has definitely decreased when I take Shakeology, especially after I had my child. It definitely has kept me healthy, knock on wood. I have not been sick, and I can't tell you how many. And I've been stressed a lot. And then the last thing that it has done is just help keep my gut healthy, regular, 100%. And just, there was one other thing, my skin 100% has cleared up, and I never would have thought of that. And the last thing that really has helped is with cravings. Cravings are huge, you run for Cheetos. Cheetos are the one thing that I absolutely love, and it's helped me control that for sure. So I will say, as a pharmacist, as a mother, as someone who really is focused on, putting everything of that quality into myself and to my children, I 100% recommend Shakeology for you. If you have any questions, let me know. I definitely am here to give you, any research, any literature that is available to help you make the best decision. But I will say, your money is well spent when you invest in this, because you're investing in yourself. Thank you so much for watching this, and I hope it was helpful.